GameStop is closing down its operations in Canada. Oh boy, this is a tough one for me to swallow as someone who goes to GameStop, I'd say at least once a month to buy either cheap things on the $5 Friday deals, looking for action figures, TCGs like Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, and also, of course, video games, though I do think the business has definitely pivoted away from just being all about video games in the last few years. Whenever I go there, it feels like everything else besides video games is the stuff that they're selling more often. You see a lot of toys, plushies, and even board games. So we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what is going on with GameStop Canada. It seems like they want to close all operations now, and obviously this is going to impact a lot of collectors and people who just love going to GameStop, which really sucks because I have to say, out of all the stores that I do go to, it's probably one of the ones I frequent the most, and I don't like to go to the mall a lot. But the writing was kind of on the wall in the last few years, especially during the pandemic. You'd see GameStop locations close down more frequently, and now it actually makes sense. This is an article here by CTV News Business. GameStop looking to sell Canadian and French operations. GameStop Corp says it intends to pursue a sale of its Canadian and French operations. The video game retailers say in a press release that the move is part of an evaluation of its international assets. GameStop did not provide any further detail on the decision. CEO Ryan Cohen posted to X earlier in the day that the two businesses' arms were for sale, adding high taxes, liberalism, socialism, progressivism, wokeness, and DEI included at no additional cost if you buy. And I'll actually leave that tweet up here if you guys want to read that yourself. GameStop did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the sales and Cohen's post. As of about a year ago, GameStop had 203 locations in Canada, and I remember, 15 years ago, you used to see them everywhere. In fact, they were called EB Games, I believe, at that point, and then they did change their name to the American location, an American company, GameStop. Cohen has been CEO of the company since 2023. At the time, he was already the board chair and the company's largest individual investor. Now, we know GameStop had some crazy price movements on its stock during the pandemic, and it was even memed at one point. GameStop was probably the official meme stock before meme stocks went everywhere. At the company's annual shareholder meeting last June, Cohen said GameStop was going to focus on cutting costs and long-term profitability, which would involve a smaller store network. The company earned $17.4 million in its third quarter, compared with a loss during the same quarter a year earlier. Its sales declined $860.3 million. Now, it has been doing a lot better recently, even just in terms of the stock evaluation. It's up quite a lot. It's changing its business model. It did recently actually change its TCG policies, where now they're actually going to grade cards for you. So they'll send it off to grading, which is pretty good for anyone who does collect TCGs, because it's really difficult if you're here in Canada specifically for getting your cards graded, because if you want to go to the big grading companies like PSA or Beckett, you have to go across customs. You have massive orders that you have to do. A lot of Facebook groups actually will coordinate and get those orders shipped out, but it's very difficult to grade your cards here in Canada. So losing a place like GameStop as a vessel to do that is definitely going to affect a lot of people and collectors. GameStop was one of the companies at the center of the meme stock craze on Wall Street, which saw struggling brands' share prices soar as retail investors made risky bets, and those risky bets were actually called shorting. They've made a movie about this whole incident. So unbelievable news here, guys. Let me know your thoughts about it. Is GameStop a place that you would actually miss if it goes away? It's definitely a place that I think I will miss, but that may be due to personal reasons. Let me know your thoughts about this whole situation down below. It's definitely interesting because Canada, it feels like everything I talk about is very negative. Maybe I should do a few positive videos, but it feels like everything going on in Canada recently has been pretty negative, especially on the economic and job front. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.